Hey guys,
Hey.
welcome back to another episode of Self Love is the Key Wellness.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Cambria Caldwell. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I also go by Cam the Queen on Instagram. And I have my co-host here.
Hi, you guys. My name is Jamil Brownridge. I'm a certified life coach. Also go by Coach J. On Instagram, my name is Get Well with Mel.
Yes, thank you all for joining us again for another episode.
Yes.
And tonight our topic is boundaries. So allowing toxic people to stay in your life can be a form of self-harm. Okay, self-harm, like cutting and things like that.
Ooh.
So hold on, stick around. We're getting ready to tell you guys why we think that. All right. So the reason why I said that when you allow a toxic person to stay in your life, it's a form of self-harm because when you have someone that you are really in love with and you know they're toxic, it's hard to let go, right? You allow yourself to accept more than you would normally accept because you feel like this person is worth it. I feel like society has this concept, right? That love conquers all, love perseveres. When you love someone, you're supposed to be like their ride or die person, and you take the L's, you take the punches because love is about ups and downs and it's about forgiveness, but at what cost, right?
It's like the cost of your feelings, the cost of all over potential. That's really what it is. It's just the potential of this process of just wanting to be together. Like I in a sense, it's just like codependency. Like, I'm depending on you to be there with me, because no matter how much you disrespect me or no matter how much like you actually talk down to me or just disrespectful altogether, no matter what you're doing, it's just the fact that like I'm still relying on you, and
so are you relying on them? Okay, I think sometimes when we say that relying on them, it's because we're looking for that validation from them, from that person. When you're in love, you put them on this pedestal, and you're like, okay, all my self-worth revolves around you. Like if I can get you to forgive me, or if I can get you to respect me, then I won. I won some kind of imaginary prize in my mind. And if I could just stay a little bit longer and just hold on a little bit more, I'm going to get the reward of my hard work.
But then at the end of the day, you're just damaging yourself at the end of the day. And that's how, instead of you just simply walking away when these things are happening, you're taking the time to say, like you said, I'm going to hold on because I put
sickness and health.
I put that little bit of potential into you, and I put all this into you, so I'm going to hold on. It's going to get better. It has to get better. There's no more. It's only up from here, and all those good sayings and all that. But at the end of the day, you're only costing your own happiness. You're only costing your own self-worth at the end of the day. And in order not to do that, like when it happens, like you have to either say something so that it can be corrected, or simply say this is not what's going to work for me at the end of the day. Like I have to walk away.
Right. We all have our non-negotiables.
Of course.
And there are some things that you just can't come back from. When a person hurts you. I think earlier I was talking to you, Coach Jay, about an experience that I had in the past where someone said to me, oh, well, you're a therapist, so you should be able to take more because you have the tools. You have tools that others don't have. And my response to that is no. I'm a person just like everybody else, and I deserve to be held with soft white gloves just like everybody else does.
I think that there's this notion that people believe that, because you are a therapist, that you can hold more, and that you can deal with a lot more because at the end of the day, like you said, you have the tools, but not really understanding, just like you said, you're a human being at the end of the day. And with that, it's like, I have the tools, and I may can take a little bit more because I understand a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I still don't deserve any of that stuff, like I still deserve to be treated with respect. I still deserve to be treated with, the most kindness. I still be treated like a grown woman or a grown man or, so at the end of the day, I think that we have to erase that process of people saying like, hey, you're a therapist. You can take more. You got this. No, you have to. We have to erase that. At the end of the day, like we're all are human beings, and so we have to have that thought process of like, okay, just because that's what they do for their 9 to 5, this is not who they are all day, every day. You're not a therapist all day, every day. You know what I'm saying?
None of us are. None of us are our professions all day, every day. That's just like the doctor who likes to smoke cigarettes and drink.
Exactly.
When they're off of work, and of course they go to work every day and tell people that you shouldn't, that you should not smoke and drink in excess, but they still may have a vice.
So
we're going to tell the doctor, oh, well, you should know better. So when you get cancer, you can handle it because you're a doctor. You should know better. Huh? Does that make any sense?
But that's real though. Like I do believe that we have to erase that notion that like because we are who we are in our professional lives that we're not human. Like But I think what it is sometimes like to a certain degree. I think that we just believe that because you know better that you should do better. But that doesn't mean that I'm not human at the end of it.
We're all human. We all we're all fallible.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But back to toxic, right? Back to toxic. When you come across somebody who's toxic and you recognize them for who they are, sometimes you stay because they remind you of something familiar. And that could be like your family dysfunction, your family toxicity.
Trauma bonding.
Right? And it's because it's familiar, you stay longer because it's like, okay, I know how to deal with this person. I can fix this person or I can fix this situation. But we're not ever here to fix anybody else. We're only here to work on ourselves. The moment you start doing that on a consistent basis, you start to lose yourself, over time, more and more and more over time.
That's why I always tell people, like, make sure that you have a life outside of your relationship.
Yes.
So that you're not putting all of your eggs in that person. You know what I'm saying? You're not just sitting there focused on what this person is doing day in and day out. Because at that point, then what are you doing day in and day out? You have no sense of life outside of this person. If this person, was to unfortunately pass away, or this person was to unfortunately just say, I don't want to be with you anymore, you're not going to know how to cope with life because your life was so wrapped up into this person, opposed to you doing the things that make you happy. And, whether that be, hanging out with your own friends or, taking your own trips or whatever they may be.
Or falling in love with your hobbies.
Yes.
Or whatever passion project that you have. We should all have some kind of passion that we're pursuing.
Yes.
And focusing on personal growth, no matter what age we're at, or or how far high we are up in a profession. There's always room for growth and doing things that's taking a personal journey just for yourself.
There's always something new that we can always learn. Like, we don't know everything as human beings. We don't know everything. There's always something new that we can be taught, something new that we can be learning. So there's no reason to wrap yourself up into anyone, really. Like, if it's not wrapped up into yourself, like in teaching yourself and learning new things about yourself and new information that's going on or whatever the case may be, then you shouldn't be wrapping yourself up into the next individual either.
Right. So when I have a client who's going through something like this, like they're trying to break a trauma bond or they're going through codependency with someone, I ask them, what are your hopes and dreams? What are your values? What are your priorities besides that person? Right? We should kind of have a ballpark idea of what that is. And if we don't, then that means you should take the time to figure that out for yourself. Right? And a lot of us are not giving ourselves that time because we're wrapped up in whoever we're with.
Take time out for yourself. I promise you, you won't regret it.
It's going to be okay. You can pour into yourself just like you want to pour into others. How can you pour into others if you don't pour into yourself? If you have an empty cup, you don't have anything else to give over.
Hey, you can't say it no better. Like, that was the easiest way to say it. Like, honestly, that is the easiest way to say it. Like, it goes back to like making sure that yourself is good at the end of the day in order for you to help someone else, So at the end of the day, like making sure that you're always good, making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do for you to make yourself happy is what's most important.
Right. And then when you figure out what those values are, you figure out what your standards are, you got to be okay with knowing that you may have to voice those needs, and that person you voice the needs to, they may not be able to meet those needs, and it's okay, and you have to be okay with walking away. And it doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It don't mean they're not worthy all the time, but you're not aligned.
What you want and what someone else wants could be totally two different things. And some people we grow and we grow apart.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, we wanted the same things. Maybe 3 years later, you're wanting this,
mm-hmm.
and this person is wanting this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Like you said, that's okay. You want to grow as an individual, but as long as you're growing, that doesn't mean that the person that you're growing with is going to be the person that's going to have to be there with you for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Right. I say this because some toxic people don't know that they're toxic. Right. Mm-hmm. So it may cause you more stress to try to sit there and point out all the toxic stuff to this person, mm-hmm. and prove that they're toxic. And if they don't think so, they're going to gaslight you to hell. They're going to be like, no, I know what you're talking about. No, that's not true. No, I never said that. Mm-hmm. No, no, really? Me? What? Mm-hmm. Couldn't be. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. And then you sitting there driving yourself crazy. You sitting there trying to draw Venn diagrams and go get graphs and looking up receipts and all this kind of stuff. And you just
graphs and spreadsheets.
You just causing yourself more stress.
Trying to
prove somebody they toxic. When you just say, you know what, we're not aligned. I'm going to go this way.
And you go
that way.
And we are going to be okay.
Got nothing but love for you, baby. Man, that's it.
No, that's real. Like I said, everybody's not meant to go through life with us. You know, some people are here for, how we go, for a season.
A reason in the season.
You know, and you got to figure out which one it is that they're here for.
Mm-hmm. But I think we're all here to give each other lessons.
That's really what it is.
We all reflect off each other. We all grow off of each other's experiences. Don't think that you don't impact someone else just like they impact you, because we're relational. As humans, we're relational people, right? But when I'm relating to you and all I get back is toxic, at some point it got to stop. Otherwise, it becomes self-harm, because I'm just allowing you to hurt me over and over and over again, and just taking the disrespect over and over and over again.
And don't let nobody beat you down in that type of way where you just allowing somebody to just pound on you in that sense. They just piling it on, just being disrespectful and rude and just saying whatever they want to say, and their actions is whatever their actions are. It's like, no, you have to, as they say, stand 10 toes down and say, hey, you go this way, we go this way, we're not aligned. I'm sorry. I got love for you, but unfortunately, this is not going to work.
And this can include family. It could be friends. It could be business associates. It could be anybody. You know,
not just a romantic relationship.
Right. You know, none of this is stuff that you only apply to one person, not the other. It's about, who is added to your life in general, right? You should always be able to assess that and figure out who deserves to be in your life and who doesn't.
I feel like every couple of years, as we grow as individuals, I feel like we should be able to reflect on our friendships. And I use the friendship one because I think that's the best one. I think that we should be able to reflect on our friendships, because I think at the end of the day, if I feel like I've been pouring more into you than you've been pouring into me, then this is not going to go far, So I think that at that point you have to say, hey, unfortunately, I love you, but we have to go our separate ways. Like you said, it's friendships, romantic relationships, business partners. It can go for anyone, family members. It can go for anyone. It's not just a romantic relationship at all. So, yes, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. So, y'all, we don't want to bore you too much, talking too far into the subject. But if you want to talk more in detail one-on-one, please reach out to us. We're both offering one-on-one sessions.
Yes.
Coach A, you want to have anything else to say? Any other final words?
The only final word that I can think of is to self-reflect. Self-reflect. That's the only thing I really want to tell people. Always self-reflect.
Mm-hmm. You gotta check in with yourself and figure out what your needs are. Our needs can change also as we grow. We need different things to continue to feed ourselves, but you won't know if you don't self-reflect.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like she said, we don't want to bore you to death, but
we're glad you made it this far. We appreciate it.
Yes. So, at the end of the day, we love you. Thank you for watching. And you can go ahead and find me on the gram at Get Well with Smell. You can find her at
Cam the Queen, or you can follow our group page, Self Love is the Key Wellness, because that is the site for our nonprofit, Self Love is the Key Wellness, Inc.
Or you can follow us on TikTok at Self Love is the Key Wellness as well.
Yes, we can know with the time.
So, please, if you have any questions, you want to know more information, you just have a comment.
Or questions. We like to answer questions too on our channel.
Yes.
So hit us up with those questions. We love those. Yes. Those are fun.
Yes, they actually are. But anyways, just go ahead and drop them down at the bottom. Send us a DM. Talk to us.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.